tastes like success. It's JSGC here, and we are here for another Manchester City video. This time we're going to be doing the final analysis of the 2018-19 season, which is of course the FA Cup final. City surrounded by controversy over the last week with financial fair play, but who cares about financial fair play right now when Manchester City are keeping their heads down, working hard and playing as well as what they are? And it's all down literally to hard work and knowledge and a little bit of money, being able to do all this and invest in your team. But Manchester City are hard workers and they're reaping the rewards for being able to do that. So we're going to analyse this game. So we'll start first by talking about the teams. Riyad Mahrez did keep his place like I predicted in the preview. We saw David Silva start, which surprised me, over Kevin De Bruyne. I thought the big pitch would have suited Kevin De Bruyne, and as we saw second half, I was right, it does suit Kevin De Bruyne. We saw David Silva start though. Obviously we'll talk about him in a moment. Only surprise really, we saw Gabriel Jesus play up front and starting ahead of Sergio Aguero, who dropped to the bench, who we didn't even see in this final. Jesus, of course, the semi-final goal scorer and winner, scoring the only goal in that match against Brighton and Hove Albion at Wembley, and so Pep went with him, and that's why. For Watford, we saw Gomez go in net. Apparently it's going to be his last ever game. He's going to retire after this game. Not too sure how true that is or not, because I'm no expert on Watford. But he was in ahead of Foster, which surprised me. I thought Ben Foster, being their #1 for the season, would have been in net for this big, huge game. But obviously, Grassi's gone with sentimental rather than going with what he's gone with all season. We saw Holebas start at left-back after having his red card rescinded. We saw Deeney captaining up front. We also saw Deulofeu playing in this game as expected too. So for the first 20 minutes, a little bit quiet from Manchester City. Watford growing in confidence into the game, and we saw them create a huge chance. Kyle Walker ended up cutting in over to the left rather than sticking to his position and remaining a little bit more central. It created space there for Pereira, who was through in on goal. The ball was played to him. Ederson closed him down well, and before he was able to get a good shot away, he was only managed to poke it, which was straight at Ederson's foot, and then was obviously cleared away by Manchester City. And so a little bit of a layoff from Man City. So good reading of the play by Ederson, and an opportunity blown there by Watford in what could well have proved to be a critical miss for Watford. And so it looked to me like Watford were targeting the counter rather than things like set play and throw-ins and things like that, which was what I was expecting them to be like. And so a little bit surprising. It did, in my opinion, make Watford a little bit open, which always suits Manchester City if a team's going to be a little bit more open. And so, yeah, there we go. Manchester City were putting some hopeful balls in the first 20 minutes, crossing to Raheem Sterling and Gabriel Jesus. Yeah. Anyway, 26 minutes in, David Silva, he works hard to win the ball back. I think it's Gundogan who then heads the ball back to David Silva, who is perfectly onside. We had VAR in this game, by the way. Perfectly onside. And there he is, just to slot the ball away into the back of the net. Took a little bit of a deflection. Scoring the opening goal in the FA Cup final, just what City were looking for. We always want to score first in a game. Puts us under a lot less pressure than what can happen if we end up conceding first. And so City end up making the big save. City create their own big opportunity. City put it in the back of the net. Perfect start. 26 minutes in, we're 1-0 up, and just what the doctor ordered, really. 38 minutes in, Watford were trying just to get to half-time. Looked good first 20 minutes. Tired a little bit for the next 20 minutes. City were just pushing for the second goal, so they wanted to go in up 1-0 and see what could happen in the second half. But our players, they had other ideas. Ilkay Gundogan was there, playing a ball over to Gabriel Jesus. He was on the byline. He lobs the ball over Gomez. The ball's going in, and there is Raheem Sterling to put it in the back of the net, basically, even though it was already going in. And there is a big debate going on right now. Is it Jesus' goal? Is it Raheem Sterling's goal? I put at the time, doesn't really matter. It's 2-0 Manchester City. Who cares? It looks like we're on course here for all the domestic treble and what we was looking for. And I felt like we just needed one more goal to secure this FA Cup down. Obviously, it proved to be a little bit more important because only 3 players, I think, in the history have ever scored a hat-trick in the FA Cup final. And Raheem Sterling needs this goal to get a hat-trick in this game to make him the 4th player to be able to do so. So at the moment in time of recording, it hasn't been decided yet, so I don't know if he's got a hat-trick or not. Anyway, Half-time, 2-0, Manchester City. In reality, my opinion, Watford far too open. They weren't tracking runs. City were being predictable in what they always do. You know what they're going to do. Work hard off the ball. A little bit of tactical fouling. Snuff out the threat early on. Target the second balls. Work the ball quickly. Pass the ball. Look for opportunities. Create space. Stretch the pitch. Make the pitch nice and big. Tire the teams out and put your chances away. That's what Man City do. Gundogan, Mahrez, Bernardo Silva were absolutely perfect at doing that, in my opinion, in the first half, and they were running riot. Just felt like we needed to cut out a few loose passes. I was really nitpicking, if I'm completely honest there. But I just wanted us to push for that one more goal and see out the game. We obviously wanted it to go 3-0. We've seen Watford be 2-0 behind before at Wembley in the FA Cup, just in their semi-final against Wolves, and then they ended up winning 3-2. So just felt like we just wanted that third goal and kill this game off. And I put subs were key. Turned out to be crucial with Manchester City, certainly. Good half, though, no doubt, for Manchester City being brilliant. And like I said, as I wrote down here, 45 minutes to go. Big 45 minutes. Let's go and finish the season on a high. City then bring on Kevin De Bruyne. Watford are nice and positive for the first 15 minutes. Not creating too much, but playing a lot better in the first 15 minutes of the second half than certainly in what they did in the last maybe 20-25 minutes of the first half. We bring Kevin De Bruyne on for Riyad Mahrez. Thought it was a bit harsh on Mahrez. I didn't think he was playing that bad. We put De Bruyne on, though, to change things up, freshen things up in the middle, and boy, did it work. 61 minutes in, just as Watford were starting to get a bit of confidence, and City were just trying to ease their way back into the game and see things out. Kevin De Bruyne gets onto the score sheet with a counter-attack, plays in Gabriel Jesus. He feeds in Kevin De Bruyne with the ball back absolutely perfectly. He rounds Gomez, dummies him, takes one touch, takes two, looks up, slots the ball into the empty net. Perfect for Manchester City. Absolutely brilliant, and we've really missed Kevin De Bruyne, and that was vintage Manchester City of the 2017-18 season, in my opinion. Man City scored so many goals like that through the counter-attack, running through Kevin De Bruyne. It was unreal, and it was nice to see, and it was taking me back to last season. 68 minutes, and we're doing the same again. However, the players, it's roles reversed. De Bruyne on the counter again, feeds in Gabriel Jesus. Rather than Jesus playing back in for Kevin De Bruyne, Jesus has got enough pace to get through on goal. Coolly waits for his opportunity, waits for the goalkeeper, slows it all down, one-on-one, waits for the keeper to open up, and as soon as he just opens up that little smidgen, he puts the ball around him into the goal. Coolly placed, good finish, good for Gabriel Jesus, scoring again. 4-0 to Manchester City, possibly a brace for him, maybe one, maybe two, we do not know. Absolutely perfect, and I felt like there the game was done. The trophy was coming to City. Treble complete. 81 minutes in, it gets better, and it's 2 for Raheem Sterling possibly, and 5 for Manchester City. Bernardo Silva's in on the left, squares the ball around. Raheem Sterling, right place, right time, like you'd expect an attacker to be, and he's there. Gomez gets a big arm onto it, goes into the roof of the net. Demoralising for Watford, but what a performance from Manchester City in the FA Cup final. 5-0, absolutely incredible, but we wasn't done just yet. 87 minutes in, Kevin De Bruyne is on the right-hand side. He's looking for another assist, squares it in. Raheem Sterling's there to flick it on. Gomez gets a good hand, a good save onto the post. Raheem Sterling reacts quickest, and he's there just to tap it in again. And it's just demoralising. I felt sorry for Watford in this game, I really did. But Manchester City were looking lethal. And it's also possibly maybe the hat-trick for Raheem Sterling too. Kevin De Bruyne, absolutely amazing in the 30 minutes that he has been on the pitch for Manchester City. And it was also at the time the joint record biggest win, the joint record for most goals win, and the biggest win at 6-0 in the FA Cup in history. Joint, I think they said on BBC, I think it was, with the Wednesday, which is Sheffield Wednesday's former name. But I think there might have been 6-1, and Bury have also won 6-0 in an FA Cup final, but it's not been done in 116 years, this big scoreline. City had the record on the grasp of their fingers for the crucial 7th, making it the biggest win ever in the FA Cup final, and also making it the biggest, goal margin in the FA Cup final too. All the records are right on the grasp of glory. Raheem Sterling decides not to seal his complete hat-trick or possibly his 4th goal. Instead, he squares it across. 92nd minute in 2 minutes of added time. There's John Stones, for some reason why he's there, I don't know. Gets a decent shot away, to be fair. Gomez gets down well low, gets a foot onto it. It bounces, ricochets, bounces up. Could go absolutely anywhere. Instead, goes over the crossbar. And there it was, the record. Never mind, we'll have to settle with the joint record. Full time, 6-0 for Manchester City. Domestic treble completed. Community Shield on top of that. Some people have been calling it a quadruple. Call whatever you hell you want, I don't care. It's pure domination from Manchester City, and I'll have a toast and drink to that absolutely perfect performance. What a time to save it for, the FA Cup final. Perfect. For stats, 70% possession for Manchester City, you can't ask for much more. 30% for Watford. 11 shots for Watford, just 2 on target. Crucial from Edison, that for 1 in the first half. 24 shots for City, 11 on target, 6 goals to show for it. That's brilliant. Said before the game, City normally muster up around 500, 600 passes. So 629 passes, 90% pass completion rate. That is absolutely excellent from Manchester City. 280 passes for Watford, 77.5% pass completion rate, which isn't too bad. 18 key passes compared to Watford's 8. 7 clear-cut chances for City created. 1 for Watford. Disappointed we didn't get 7 goals, if I'm honest. More corners for City. Targeting set play, they only had 1 corner. Watford did, and that was in the first half. Added time. Watford ended up being better at tackles, which is interesting. Interceptions, City made more interceptions, both the same amount of blocks. Watford had a lot more clearances, more headed clearances, and aerial duels pretty much 50-50 from City and Watford there, and block crosses more for Watford as you'd expect too, and obviously more saves to make for Aurelio Gomez too. So pretty decent stats from Manchester City. Like I said, Watford just didn't put their opportunity away. Comes down to all the other Premier League games that we've played this season, even in the Cups as well, League Cup, also the FA Cup, as showed here, and also Champions League 2. You create opportunities and you put them away, you win the game, and it's as simple as that. And Watford created some opportunities. If they go 1-0 up, this is a completely different ball game then. If they can defend deep and defend well, they stood a chance of winning this game. But instead, City run away with it. So, commiserations to Watford and their fans. Sung their hearts out. Players played their hearts out. Made it a good cup final. Well done to them, getting this to this stage. Absolutely brilliant. Desperately unlucky in this game. Like I said, to put the chances away, ifs and buts. But if they do, then it creates a completely different ball game. And instead, they end up coming out losers. And it also means that Wolves are in the Europa League, if you are interested in that. Now, for City, man of the match, Raheem Sterling for me. Kevin De Bruyne running him close, and he was only on the pitch for 30 minutes. He was on for 90. Whew! We could have been on for double figures in this game. Absolutely brilliant from Manchester City. But everyone in the team has done absolutely brilliantly. Everyone in this team has been exceptional playing in this game. It's been an absolutely wonderful season. It's been an absolute pleasure covering it all season. A domestic treble. Absolutely brilliant from the players. Absolutely fantastic. And the players now can have a nice long rest, I'm hoping. I'm sure some of the England players that are going away on international duty and players going to the Copa America might get a couple of weeks off here where they can go and relax and enjoy themselves. And once they're done on international duty throughout June, they'll be able to have a good break and be able to have a few weeks off, which the players have fully deserved. So I hope every single player out there at Manchester City goes and heads out and enjoys their break, freshens up, recharges the batteries, and we go again for next season. But personally, for me, we move on to Manchester City news, the fight with the UEFA, with UEFA with regards to financial fair play. We move on to transfers, daily transfer videos, potential incomings and outgoings. Big summer coming up for Manchester City with some big players probably leaving, so that may well mean big transfers coming in too. So busy times for me, busy big few months for me on YouTube too. And so, yeah, bring it on. History makers, I absolutely love it, and I love this club too. Absolutely brilliant season, and I cannot wait to get going again in August for the next season. So, thank you everyone so much for supporting me over the season and over my whole career here on YouTube. I hope everyone's enjoyed it, and if you enjoyed this video, make sure you leave a thumbs up like always. Make sure if you're new around here and you're enjoying the content, you press the red button and subscribe and press the bell and put your push notifications on. We've got so many videos coming up over the summer. It's absolutely unreal, so make sure you stay tuned for that. We've got a podcast, episode 2, coming out tomorrow. So we're going to be talking about Manchester City's season and the cup performances and ways forward for the League Cup, FA Cup for next season, and also the Champions League potentially too. So if you're interested, make sure you stay tuned for that video. We've got podcast episode 1 out from last week. Just go on my channel and go and check it out if you wish. And I'll see you all again for the next video. Social media links in the description below. I'll see you all again tomorrow. Make sure you all go and have a drink, or however you celebrate. Go and enjoy yourselves. And yeah, I'll see you all again tomorrow. So it's been JSGC. Hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. Peace. Ciao for now.